tire, voices crackling through the night. Fast lane tails ignite. Gear shift split on the track. Cold-blooded eyes staring back. Metals clashing, heartbeat race. Speed and scales in the same space. Stories of speed spinning wild. Fury and cold blood compiled. Revving up, adrenaline high. Fast and fierce, no alibi. Gear shift sweat on the track. Cold-blooded eyes staring back. Metals clashing, heartbeat race. Speed and scales in the same space. Stories of speed spinning wild. Fury.
Welcome, everybody, to another night of the Speedway Stories and Cold Blooded Conversations. I'm your host, Wally. Check us out on all social media platforms, the Nonsensical Network. We're posting and doing live 7 days a week, so come check it out. Give us a like, share, follow, subscribe. We're on, like I said, we're on all platforms. Tonight, I'm going to recap over the Supercross race from Anaheim this past weekend and talk about a little bit about dirt bike racing and what I watched this past weekend, and give some people, if they're in here, their thoughts that watched it and everything else. So we'll get her started. This past weekend they had the first outdoor Supercross race in Anaheim, and it was actually a pretty exciting day watching the racing and everything else. And they had some good races, some major upsets. Some of the big names went down pretty hard. But yeah, we'll start with the 250 class. Hayden Deegan, he's defending champ from last year. He's pretty good. He's a stud. But luck wasn't on his side. He took the first heat race and everything else for to go to the main event and everything, and he fared pretty good. But I can't remember the guy's name. He rides for Team Honda. He ended up winning it. He was out last season for an injury and everything else. Come back and won the first race of the year. Set himself up pretty good. A lot of tight action. There were some good races, some gnarly wrecks that they had. It's gonna be an exciting year with everybody being healthy and being back. And now my favorite class, the 450 class, where there's a lot of amazing racers in it. Eli Tomac, Richie Sexton, the Lawrence brothers, Hunter and Trevor, Ken Rosen. He's on his way out. And Eli Tomac, this is their last year for those guys. They, yeah, Benji, motorcycles, man. They all put on a good race. Tomac had the fastest lap during qualifying session and stuff. What's up, Brandon? He looked good and everything else. Did good. Rosen won the first heat race and everything. Set the pace for himself. But when it come to the main event, it was crazy because one of the Lawrence brothers was favored to come in, dominate again, and he ended up having some bad mishaps. His team, they're working with a new chassis and everything else for this season. They got a new setup stuff. Didn't fare very well. Hit the sand traps pretty hard and stuff, and ended up finishing 12th. He nice. That'd have been sweet to see. But yeah, the Tomac started out. He led it. Ended up having a mishap. Actually got ran over and dropped clear back to 20th place and worked his way all the way back up. He made the top 10 finish and everything else. Richie Sexton won with his KTM, which they're talking about dropping the off-road dirt bikes and everything else. I don't know if they're going to or not now after he just put them at top of the podium for the first race of the year. We'll see what plays out after the season's over. There's a lot of racing left for those guys, and It's going to be interesting because everybody's healthy. They're on their A game. Next weekend's race, check it out on Peacock and stuff, or the USA Network. It's the Monster Supercross races. There's a lot of good racing if you're into the dirt bike scene and stuff. But yeah, now we're gonna get on topic. Eli Tomac, been following him for years. Good racer. He's part of one of my top 5 racers besides Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, and James Stewart. Those guys right there are my top 3, and grew up with them, watching them race and everything else. Tomac's had a good season, good career. Last year, unfortunately, he had a mishap back in 2023 that he was actually leading the points going into until he had an injury. He almost ended up winning it. So he's saying this is pretty much going to be his farewell tour. So wishing him all the best, and hopefully he can come out, finish strong, and actually take the title this year and everything else. Wishing him luck. So, but yeah, then sticking with the dirt bike theme and stuff, got a local track here just outside of my town that they put on races and everything else. It's Route 62 MX. So he's got indoor for the winter series and everything else. His name's Travis. Does a good job. And then he also has big outdoor tracks that they put on during the warmer weather, during the spring and summer. I'll put up in the links and everything else for their tracks and the schedule for the Monster Motocross series and everything else. And you guys can check him out if you're interested. And we'll see how, like I said, the season plays out. Know a lot of local racers for the one I was telling you about, the local track. A lot of good guys. They just put a lot of time into it too. It's amazing to watch it down actually on the local circuit. They do summertime. The fairs usually have them. They're pretty good races. But yeah, well, on to the end of that one. And then the breaking news for the motocross scene is Levi Kitchens. He's a big name 250 racer. Ended up sick all weekend and is not going to race the West Coast race. So he's going to be racing East Coast. His first official race will be in Tampa when they go there. And wishing him well. He's another phenomenal rider. But there's a lot of big name young stars I watched this past weekend. I know I'm jumping around. That they got bright futures, good racers. They stick with it. They'll be top stars. So, but yeah, that's it on the motocross part. And now I'm going to get into the reptile side of my ordeal. Next Monday night, you guys check our social medias all week long leading up till next Monday. I am probably going to have one of the largest guests I may have this year on my show. I will do a reveal here tomorrow of who it is and what he does for the hobby that I idolize and follow. And I'll keep you guys posted on that aspect, or throw that out there. I'm pretty excited because big name in the reptile community. He's known worldwide. Got his own YouTube channel and stuff. He's part of that group that I finally got confirmation, actually tonight before the show, that he's going to be on. So I will have on our social media platforms, on here, on Facebook, and TikTok and stuff, and Instagram about it, and then I'll have the guys help me set up on all our other platforms, sharing of who it is and everything else, and like you guys to come in and check it out. It'll be a 6 o'clock show next week, so hopefully you guys will tune in and check it out. And yeah, they're definitely going to be interesting. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. Real quick. That's pretty much kind of a short show, a little bit, just talking that. But yeah, the racing, motocross racing, like I said, go back to it. it was interesting for their qualifying heat races, especially with everything going on out in California for them, and how far it was from those fires and everything else. They I was surprised that they still held it with how close it was, but it turned out to be a good show. Monster Energy does a good job. Yes, Benji, NASCAR Daytona is next month, man. It's gonna be all left turns next next month starting. So maybe one of these days they'll come up with the idea like we were talking when you were on the show, throw in something different, try to bring in the crowd. So far nothing new for the season that I know of, other than Dale Jr.'s gonna be doing a couple time racing a couple times again. He's gonna get back in the 8 car again, from what I've been reading online. Other than that, it's pretty much the same old NASCAR. So, Brandon, I really don't have a favorite Looney Tune character. I really actually like them all, man. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to see him bring back the 8. Plus, he's been doing. Last year, he did a couple the asphalt late model races with the car, and he brought back the 8 car too, which was pretty cool. I've seen that on YouTube and his social media pages. But there's really, I don't know, there's been so many different talks with the NASCAR season coming up about how the points are done again. They're bickering about that and the playoff race, and but that's gonna be another one that we'll see what happens with it race season. I haven't really been following it much, so but I've been that and checking out some dirt track racing and stuff. They've been found some videos on YouTube of Kyle Busch and all them. A lot of them going racing this winter, doing some dirt track racing and stuff. So it's been kind of neat. They keep keeping themselves busy for the off season. But yeah, February. Oh, trying to remember. But they start off. They'll have their 24 hours of Daytona and everything else going on, and leading up to their Daytona Speed Week and everything else coming up here in February for the Daytona 500. So, yeah, that's right, man. Dirt's for racing, asphalt's for getting there. You're right. It's where everybody starts at. Seen a lot of good dirt track racing over the years. That's, I think, some of the most exciting racing there is for when it comes to behind the wheel, besides formula racing and other stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of the big name guys still staying busy. Everything else, and then big news is. Uh, Shoot, I can't remember his name now. But one of the bigger name guys, he does a lot of the late model racing, winged outlaw racing, and everything else. He just partnered with Tony Stewart for at Eldora Speedway here in Ohio. He is now a premier partner with Tony Stewart. I was reading online, which I thought was a big boost for that and everything else. And speaking of, yep, that's right. Yeah, that'll start. I think the second week of February is when they do the 24-hour Rolex, Benji. They were talking about it. Actually, a couple days afterwards, Benji, they came up on GM's wanting to put Cadillac in for an F1 team. I don't know how well they'll hang with some of these other teams, but I mean, more power to them. It gets their name out there more. But yeah, it'll be interesting. And then Tony Stewart, of course, is going to do a full-time NHRA schedule for his Top Fuel team. Congratulations to him and his team and everything else. And him and his wife Leah and their baby that was born this past winter. So, but yeah, he's doing big things. They got it's going to be interesting and for everybody for race season, for anybody, for drag racing, formula racing, NASCAR, dirt track, motocross, all of it. We'll see what some of these big name teams do with everything going on. It'll be interesting to see. So, I'm just excited to watch racing and everything else. So, and hopefully catch a few local races this year if we got time between softball and work takes up a lot of our schedule. Yeah, I didn't think about that. They got the backing, Benji. You're right. But then I just seen today too, back to racing. One of the other tracks that's about 45 minutes from me. It's a local dirt track. They just released their schedule and everything else. It's called Muskingum Speedway. They've actually got the this year for, I believe it's the 4th of July weekend. They said on the schedule, they're bringing in the Lucas Late Model Series, which I know a couple guys that I grew up idolizing their dads racing and stuff. They're going to be racing in it there for the late model series. I guess it's going to be one of the largest purses for the Lucas Oil has held for a while, especially in the state of Ohio. It's right there behind the Dream and everything else that they hold at Eldora. So nice, man. Oh, that's awesome. I bet that's a blast. That'd be cool to do that. Dream job right there. Working for a speedway. That'd be cool as all get out. But yeah, it's gonna be ramping up here real quick and everything else for race schedule. So we'll see what happens. But anything they want to ask or talk about through the chat, hit me up. All ears. If I can't answer it, I'm sure I can figure a way to find out to answer your question. So, but yeah, I'm just back to. I'm excited for next week too because of the guest I'm having on my show. So it's a big step for me to get somebody with the name that they got coming in, and I'm trying to work on getting some more guys on the motorsports side that I know local before race season gets full fledged. I'm waiting to hear back on a few of them to get on here and talk to them. But we're just going to keep plugging away at this channel and keep supporting. We're on here, like I said, 7 days a week. There's a show for everybody, but mine's tonight, always Monday nights, unless something comes up. So, oh heck yeah, that's cool, Classic. Bet they got a lot of nice old stuff down there too. Stay busy, don't they? But yeah, we'll just a short, brief ordeal tonight. Just wanted to jump on, recap some stuff, and then I will keep posted to your social medias. You guys, I know a lot of you are motorsports and everything else, but you might want to jump in next week on the show and get a little education, hopefully, on some of the reptiles and everything, and from the gentleman I'm going to have on the show. So we'll see. We'll see you guys all next week. Sorry it was short tonight, but really not much to talk about other than what I did. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yes, because he hasn't even done it yet.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football crashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.